This is a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time. What order should you watch Star Wars in, right? The big preference is going to be the prequels, then the sequels, right? And then there's the sequels, and then the prequels. And then there's the Machete. So let me explain all of that, right? Prequels before the sequels is 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Sequels before the prequels is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Machete order is 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6. So, what order is the best? Well, over the last 2.5 to 3 months, roughly, I have watched every single order. I sat down, I took notes, I broke it down how I felt the story was delivered. I love Star Wars. I cannot get enough of the older content. I would say after Clone Wars, after like the Clone Wars animation series ended, Rebels was alright, but I haven't enjoyed a lot of the new Star Wars stuff. But with the original 6 movies, me personally, I would say the way to watch it varies on 2 things. 1, how much does the person know about watching Star Wars? Do they know all the lore and is very detail accurate on it? Or are they brand new and don't have a clue? Well, if you are a seasoned veteran like myself, I would say that one of the most interesting ways to watch it would be the Machete order. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6. I say that because as a Star Wars fan, I started with 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. That's the way I started. And then I watched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for a while, that was the only way to watch it. And then upon my first watching in the Machete order, I found that preserving the fact that we don't know who Darth Vader really is until we get to the end of the order is cool. Preserving the fact that he's Luke's father is cool. Ending episode 5 and letting the bad guys win and moving into this sort of flashback era with 1, 2, and 3 helps set a timeline. It helps set, what happened in between 5 and 6. Well, here's 1, 2, and 3 to kind of help explain what's about to happen in 6, right? People argue with this because, 4 and 5, bangers. 1 and 2, not so much. 3, arguably, depending on your generation, the best Star Wars movie. And then 6, again, not that great, right? So if you watch 4 and 5 and then move on to 1, 2, and 3, you might be really upset, right? It might get to the point where you get so bored watching 1 and 2 that you might not make it to 3. But I say the argument stands for almost any order, right? There are about 4 movies that I say are not peak in Star Wars, right? That's 1 and 2, right? The Phantom Menace and then Clones Attack. And then that's arguably 4 and 5. Arguably. They're good movies, but not the best, right? And I might get a lot of backfire for that. I might get a lot of hate, but my line is I think 3 is the best. So if you save 3 for the 5th movie you're watching, and then you watch 6th as the 6th movie, I think that it's bearable that you go 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6. Because it introduces peak-ish, snooze fest, 1 and 2, hella peak, like peak of the mountain, and then 6 is also pretty decent. My biggest problem with Star Wars is that the prequels and the sequels were made so far apart from each other that you can tell the quality difference between them. And so I guess that may be one of the points that you could use to discredit the Machete experience, because, 4 and 5, being made out of a garage with the simplest of props, jumping into 1, 2, and 3 that had Hollywood level budgets with big CGI, and then jumping back to 6 where again it was made in a garage. I can kind of understand the premise of not wanting to do that, right? I can understand why not just keep them in order. I can understand that argument. But to that, I say live a little. I say if you haven't watched the Machete order being 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, give it a chance. Next time you sit down for a full 6 movie rewatch, which, according to How I Met Your Mother, should be once every 3 years. Next time you sit down to watch it, just give that order a chance. And if it's bad, I get it. Hate me forever. Never watch another one of my videos. But it was very enjoyable, my first watch through. I, already knowing what's to come and what's to happen, found 1 and 2 more enjoyable after watching 4 and 5. And then, of course, everyone enjoys Revenge of the Sith. And then it's hard to enunciate why I feel the way I do, because it's very personable. The way I like to watch films and the way I break things down comes to me through a kind of a weird metric, I would say. How many times, one of my biggest things is how many times did I want to turn it off? And I can say the numbers did not spike as much when I was using the Machete order versus the original 2 orders. I wanted to turn 1 and 2 off almost immediately when watching prequel, sequel. And I wanted to turn 1 and 2 off pretty much immediately when watching prequel, sequel. But when watching the Machete order, I almost didn't mind 1 and 2. It kind of felt to me like we were setting up a really good storyline. And then, of course, like any good show does, they take you back to the beginning and they allow you to learn what is going to happen, what will happen, and what does happen. And to me, that's my favorite way of cinematography, I would say. Producing a show, producing a movie. I like when shows take you back, right? They show you current day, they explain a couple of things, they get into a couple big fights, and then all of a sudden you're learning backstory, you're learning lore as to why these characters are so important. And to me, that's what puts the Machete order at the top of my list. That's what puts 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6 as my new favorite official viewing order, right? So, for the final ranking, I'd say at number 1 would be the Machete order. And don't diss it until you've tried it. I'd say number 2 would be 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And then number 3 would obviously be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, if you haven't tried it, give it a chance. It is a very controversial opinion, I know, but as somebody who quite literally dreams to be a Jedi, but will, obviously that dream will probably never come true because, I don't have the Force. I don't have any midichlorians running in my blood so that I can, it still holds up. Star Wars is still fantastic, and whichever order you decide to watch the movies in, that's your opinion, that's how you feel. And everybody's entitled to their own viewing order. But for me, I'd say Machete is the way to go. So, if you've made it this far, please consider liking, subscribing, and checking out some of my other videos, as well as waiting for my next video. I try to post daily, and that's really just about it. So, Thank you again. Tune into The Kevin Show in the future. You guys have a wonderful day. Adios.